What's going on, traders and investors? Welcome back to another Boiler Room Trading Podcast, episode 3. Question here, is gold and silver going to boom here in the coming years? Today, I took a little bit of time to do a little bit of further digging into some of the gold and silver, and I have come up with some interesting information that I do believe could be signaling a price action move to the upside here in gold within the coming years. So as many of you guys know, gold and silver isn't necessarily something that moves very fast in price. It is a very heavily traded, and again, it doesn't move super fast in price. Most people see gold and silver as long-term investments. Some people, of course, probably trade it short-term too, but most people and the majority will see gold and silver as a long-term investment. And as we have known from history, people tend to flee towards gold and silver in times of uncertainty. And that naturally means the stock market's turning red and everybody thinks it's going to crash or go through a recession. That's naturally when we'll see people start flooding into gold and silver. So as history has shown through most of the bearish times in the market, there will be a price increase of gold and silver. If you're curious to see some of the opportunity that can arise in gold and silver, just take a second to go back and look at the charts in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2011, and check out what the price of gold and silver was back then. Very high. Now, if we look right now, gold and silver is at fairly reasonable levels, especially silver. Silver's down somewhere in the $13 an ounce range, and it hit lows of about $7 back in 08, 09. Now, personally, I feel silver's at a very good price, pretty much a bargain. So the question here is, do we think gold and silver will be going through a nice push here in the upcoming years? Well, as we stated, history repeats itself. If we do go through this recession through 2019, 2020, or anywhere within these next couple years, as most people are anticipating, we're most likely going to see a big rise in the price of silver and in gold. Myself, I am currently invested in silver, currently invested in gold. If you're not familiar, just a couple ETFs that you could follow off the top of my head would be USLV, GLD, SLV. Those are a few silver and gold tickers. Of course, you can research different gold companies and different ETFs. There are plenty out there to trade. You could buy actual physical gold, physical silver. All right, so I'm currently invested myself. I do believe we're going to be seeing the market get much, much worse than what we've already seen. I do believe the worst is yet to come in the market, and we're going to be taking a big move to the downside. Now, this isn't meant to scare anybody, but just to inform, and hopefully you can keep yourselves prepared. So I did a little bit of digging today, and something interesting that I came up with, I was interested, and I told myself, well, I do believe that in the next year, year and a half, 2 years to 3 years, we're going to be seeing the markets go through a recession, if not a really big crash. That's my personal belief. And so I told myself, well, a good place to have some money is definitely going to be in gold and silver if I have to believe that's going to happen. But what else could I do to potentially capitalize on this downward market if it comes? And I thought to myself, well, let's look at trading some options on some of these ETFs, right? So I did a little bit of digging, ended up going into the options chain on SLV, which is a silver, and I did it on gold too, GLD. And what's interesting is if you go on the option chain and you look at options expiring in 2020, 2019, it's interesting to see the imbalance between bullish and short bias traders on those particular ETFs or on the price action of gold. See, what we're seeing here with some of these options is that there is an extraordinary increase in volume for one, but also open interest. So a lot of people are becoming interested, right? There's a lot of open interest on these options, long biased on silver and on gold for the years 2019 and 2020. So specifically looking at some options chains, it's interesting to see that there's become a big open interest for bullish option calls on gold and silver over the course of the next year to 2 years. So by looking at the change in open interest for these bullish option calls, it becomes pretty clear that a lot of people have a bullish sentiment to the price of silver and gold to the upside over the course of the next year to 2 years. You're not seeing as much open interest of people looking to short the price of this gold or silver. So that's interesting, okay? We have a major imbalance of open interest to long bias in comparison to short bias in the options on the price of gold and silver. Very big imbalance. So the question I'll leave you with is, what do you think is going to happen to the price of gold and silver over the next couple of years? Feel free, you can put your opinions down in the comment section below, or any question you guys may have, or if there's any future podcasts you guys would like me to do over various topics, feel free, leave them in the comment section below. Would love to check out some of those ideas that you guys have. So again, thank you as always for staying tuned for another episode. And as always, please do give us a like, share, and subscribe before you head out the door, and we will see you on the next one.